Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. We're doing GrumpyCat as well, because we have some major news there. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. So for the GrumpyCat, we'll start off there before we get into the Veve and OMI stuff. We do have a new launch. It's a new face, a new launch. It's a whole new world with a brand new attitude. That's a Pokemon reference. Not that we have Pokemon at all. Excuse me. But basically just every time we kind of gain a little bit of momentum. The OG GrumpyCat like account, like the one that from the original meme, just kind of comes in and kind of just spreads some lies, spreads some FUD. Again, we do have that top tier lawyer going to fight everything, but the community decided it was just quite a bit easier to go in and say, hey, let's just relaunch as a new token, our own brand. We won't have this account with millions of followers going in and fudding every time we do something. So you do have until the 18th to go and migrate the tokens. I'll go over that in just a second. It is until the 18th. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, and the reason that we're doing that type of thing is with a stealth launch. It's the safest way to go to prevent any malicious people to enter or snipe on the new contract. So the whole community will move over with all of their holdings and at full strength over on day one. This is one of the reasons why we don't have the comic book yet for GrumpyCat or the other things that are coming out. Comic book being the one that is most well known. Part of that is because, again, you don't want to launch the comic book, pay with the old GrumpyCat token, and then suddenly we have to launch. So now what we're doing is we'll do this first. Then we'll do one of the comics after this. I'm still not 100% sure if it's going to be just in the GrumpyCat token and that's going to burn, or if it's going to be in ETH or GrumpyCat, and then the ETH will just part of it will burn. Again, I'll give you more information on that as it comes available. Actually, Vincent Zerzolo, the guy from Veve, actually helped out with the distributions. Like, hey, call this guy, and he does X amount of printings. So that was really cool. Shout out to him. Anyway, more on that in the future. So where do you go for the migration? I'll put the link down below. It's www.dacat.fun. Again, that link will be down below. So please only use official DApp link to migrate. Again, there'll be a pinned message in Telegram with a link, or you can go to the website, which again, link down below. So step one is just connect your wallet. On your phone, just use the browser in your MetaMask wallet and click the link to connect. On desktop, open a browser to the bridge and connect in the same way. Then you have to approve the Grumpy. So it costs around $3 to do that. And just a pro tip, when you click approve, just increase the amount to be approved, which is more than your supply. So example, if you have 100 million, 0.1 GrumpyCat tokens, just change that number to 100 million one. So instead of just having 100 million 0.1, just put it 101 million, or I'm sorry, 100 million 1.00. Just add it up to the next whole number. This way, it'll cause a text to go red to warn you. Just click approve. So migrate, the cost will be around $5 to $7 depending on gas fees, so it's really not too big of a deal. The migrate button will appear. Click to migrate all tokens to the DA-CAT Bridge contract. After we go live with the DA-CAT coin, you're going to click claim. Again, that'll be on or after the 18th. Again, a claim button will appear, but you don't need to click yet. It'll only work after the launch. So you come back to this page and connect your wallet at that time. The dev updated the page so that when you deposit your tokens, it updates automatically to show you deposited the amount and what you have already deposited. If you migrated and you are still seeing the 0 tokens, then you'll just need to refresh. Again, that'll be on the 18th. That's the deadline. It will be technically on the 19th at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but if you're going by Pacific Standard Time, it'll be 10 p.m. on the 18th. Moving on. All right, here's some stuff with OMI, down about 0.6%. We're still at the 00061 mark, which is not a bad place to get in. Obviously, that's not financial advice. It's just we were talking about that on Around the Akomiverse yesterday with Jordan Riz. Ron's Crypto Therapy, and then it was Danny the Bull and Crypto Rain. And we were talking about just entry and exit points, and he's like, hey, this is a double bottom. Again, according to Rain, this is a pretty good place to get in. Again, not financial advice, just kind of what he's doing, and he's really comfortable buying down here. 864,000 in volume, so better than the 500,000 that we usually have, but still obviously not where we want to be. Really, that's only going to come from when you have a little bit more demand for the token. And if it's a lot easier to get. So it is still fairly easy to go on Coinbase Wallet in order to do that. But it's just, again, going to be a lot easier when you don't have a separate wallet for that, when it's just straight up on Coinbase, which may or may not happen this year. I do expect I do expect us to start getting exchanges in Q2. I'm not really expecting anything for Q1. I don't think they'd want to really do that up until they have utility for OMI that you can use. Obviously, staking over on the app for MCP points and bronze tickets is great, but if you can't use those, then it's not really a huge thing. Even though David did say that an MCP specific drop is right around the corner, for someone that thinks 3 to 5 years out, or even 10 years out at certain times, around the corner could mean several months from now. So again, I'm not really expecting anything this quarter. I did say over in March, I did say on the Economiverse last night that if we don't have any improvement by March, I will start buying again. I haven't really bought in a little while, just been diversifying into other things. But yeah, in March, I'll definitely do that. I did also say something else. I think it got a little bit misconstrued. They're asking, Jordan had asked, well, what happens if you don't have any, if there's no movement on the OMI token by the end of Q2? Because again, I did say Q2, I did expect us to move. I did say we'd be around 0.002. So 0.002 for the OMI price, which is about a 3.5x from here by the end of Q2. And he said, well, what if that doesn't happen? I was like, well, it depends. If you have Veve that had given us MCP specific drops, if we have OMI to accessory, in the Veveverse, if things are progressing and Veve goes and they roll out some updates and we don't go up, that's one thing. I have no issue going and continuously buying and continuously going and being just a huge proponent of the project. However, if the lack of movement is because of lack of updates, like they don't roll out any of the Veveverse, even though I think new beta invites are going to go out in this quarter sometime. If they don't roll out that, if they don't roll out any usable bronze tickets, so they don't do that, I did tell Jordan at that time I would actually sell a bunch of Veve NFTs and then I would diversify that. I would go put obviously more into the OMI token, but just at that time, just that would have been my chance to diversify just a little bit because I don't want to miss another bull run. But as I said, I fully expect them to start rolling stuff out in Q2. There's obviously stuff that's going to be rolled out in Q1, like we have first appearance music, Betty Boop. I'll go over that in a little bit. Before we get into the Veve stuff, just a quick update on the rest of the market. Because of the supposed ETF approval that should happen tomorrow on Wednesday, that would be January 10th, Bitcoin was up like 7% yesterday. It reached over 47,000, still at 46.8, up about 4% on the day. Ethereum, everything else is pretty flat with the exception of Solana, which is up 6%, but everything else is up or down less than 1%, again, with the exception of Solana. So shout out to them for being up 6%. So now to the Veve news. I got a little bit to go over here. I'll try to do it as quickly as possible. I was talking to a friend of mine that happens to have the number 3 spot in like the top 100 wallets, not 100 wallets. If you go and look at stacker.com, so if you see like Stacker over there and you can go to the leaderboards and you look at Marvel, the leaderboards, and you see the amount of sub 100s that people have, he's actually number 3 on the leaderboard. So he has like a ton. He has like 120 something sub 100 Marvel collectibles. He's got a lot more OMI than I do. And he's just got a lot of big connections. And I saw the other day that he had 52 See More Evil secret rare monkeys. Those are the Ron English monkeys. And I texted him like, that's a lot. Like, why do you have so much? You have almost 10% of the supply of those monkeys. And he says, well, listen, we have Ron English's Delusionville that's coming out. That is our only IP branded world that they've announced. Like, yeah. And I was like, well, obviously people are going to want that. If it's him, like a lot of money will go into that IP first. Like, all right, probably. I mean, he did say that we would have we would need the mogul grin. And if you have the mogul grins, I don't know if it was just that, the ultra rare, the secret rare, whatever it was, or if it was the full set. But either way, he said, if you have that, you'll have something special in the Veveverse. And he's like, this guy does a lot for Veve. Like if you have a gold, silver Veve logo, once or twice a year, you'll go and be able to redeem your gold and silver Veve logo for some secret rare golden Ron English stuff. You think that he won't do other stuff in the Veveverse. You think that some of these won't have a little bit of utility. I was like, that's a good idea. And I was like, listen, most of these secret rares I got for like $37 or whatever. And I was like, that's a really good idea. So there was still a couple left in the actual store. So I did the blind box for like $25. Wound up only just getting an ultra rare, which is fine. You can get most of the ultra rares for like $7 or $8 over on the store. But if you get some of those secret rares, I think they are pretty good. I'll complete that set at some point. And again, he doesn't just have that. He's Big Whale. If you go and you take a look at the screenshot of that, the Veve account is over 200,000, and that's just for floor price stuff. And again, most of what he has is sub 100 stuff. Also, speaking of people stacking, shout out to Wes Veve, that holds more Disney Platinum Mickey Mouses than any other person or entity in the entire world. The number 2 account has 28, but Veve West has 33 of them. So shout out to him for that. That is awesome. And speaking of other people that are stacking, we have Roger Cuevas, who owns 24 of the Maestros. He used that burning activity. It's like, hey, they're going to burn all the Maestros in the store. There's like over 700 of them. So he started stacking before they burned, before it went up. Again, shout out to him on that. Another stacker, Charles Delgado, broke 2,000 comics yesterday over on his account. He has 2,008 comics now. Another personal goal accomplished for him, and he just has 158 sets. So it's not that he's just stacking comics. He's got a lot of sets as well. David Yu went on and tweeted the other day, first appearance collectibles, Jubilee, Gambit, Cyclops, and Beast. And again, this was the other day. This is over on Sunday for the Marvel Mighties collection. Says, be a chance to be part of the Symbiotic crafting. What a start to 2024. It's been like couple days now, and they've grossed about 115,000 from the drop, not including the secondary sales. Something I've noticed with this drop is that the floors of the rares are higher than the floors of the rares from the previous set where you had Vision and War Machine. So obviously, clearly, as far as the people in Veve right now, they do seem to want Gambit and Cyclops a bit more than they want Vision and War Machine, despite Gambit and Cyclops not being in a movie, or at least a good movie, for years, like over a decade. Whereas, we've had really good movies with Vision and War Machine. So people thirsting for those X-Men. Gotta love that. Moving on here. And we're still not sure what Alex and Old Rhubarb meant when they said protect the Mighties twice in that video last year. Again, I do want to recall something that David said a little while ago, where he said, David Yu calls the physical version a digital clone rather than a digital twin, which I think makes more sense. So hopefully we get something in like Walmart and stuff for the Marvel Mighties, or maybe they're used as a skin in a game. I don't know. But what I do know is that other people do be stacking here, and other people do be selling, including one's previous stackers. So we have Nastascia, he was in the top Veve 500 holders, and this week he had sold 37 collectibles. Lucky Ruby Rocky had sold 190, and WC3NTE, who's number 18 in the rankings, had sold 391 collectibles. Not 100% sure why, but dude be selling a lot. On the opposite side, we have Colonel Stats, which had bought 242 collectibles. He's the number 4 wallet. We have Thantos, the number 3 wallet, which bought 301 collectibles, and Bezojman, the number 1 wallet, bought another 905 collectibles. So again, the top of the top, that top of the mountain, number 1, 3, and 4, those wallets, had bought the most. So I know people say like money goes to money. Listen, the people with money, the people with the biggest wallets on Veve, they're stacking. Why are they stacking? I don't know. Most likely because they see things that are undervalued. They see things moving in the bull market. And as soon as that narrative changes to digital collectibles, just like it kind of did with NFT gaming and blockchain gaming, you saw how big gains happen with that. Once that happens with Veve, in my opinion, everything will skyrocket, including the OMI token as well. The number 500 wallet, or the minimum to get into the 500, is Flickerbits, which has 1329 collectibles. So you need 1329 in order to reach the top 500. For the Marvel Mighties, I did have a bit of gems in the app, so I didn't really have to put anything in, but I got a number 74 Gambit, I got a number 72 Jubilee, a number 75 Beast. At the end of the day, I did wind up getting, I think, 4 sub 100 Storm. She's not a first appearance, but people were selling her for like $25, $30. Like, this is dumb. So I just wound up getting those just because of that. So I will get into Betty Boop. And speaking of music, David said that they would be at South by Southwest Music Festival. Shout out to that. It's called SXSW. It's just a big music festival in Texas. Takes place in the summer. And I don't know if just David would be going there or if the team would be going there. I do have to find that out. I do have to clarify for that. But just on that, we happen to have a piece of information. Well, normally it's in the summer, but this year it's from Friday, March 8th and Saturday, March 16th. So it's between those dates. It goes on for 8 days. And that's, if y'all want to go and hang out with David Yu, apparently he's going to be there. And now on to the Betty Boop. Boop, doop, de doop. Betty Boop is a timeless icon performing since her debut in 1930. This series of digital collectibles celebrates Betty's love of music and dance, no matter the genre. 4 collectibles drop Sunday, January 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, this does come from Veve over there, and this is a really interesting one. We haven't had a drop with like the same statue or the same person in multiple different poses or multiple different things in quite a long time. And for this one, again, just going and saying boop boop de doop, you do have the music lyrics over there. So most likely this is going to be a first appearance music, just because it says Betty's love of music and dance, and she's performing since her debut in the 1930s. So they haven't come out and said, oh, by the way, this is the first singing collectible. I'm just kind of reading in between the lines here, and I could be wrong, but that is what she's kind of most well known for. She's known for a lot of different things, and they haven't said exactly who the license they got her from either. So, and again, it's really weird for her because Fleischer Studios owns the rights, but Global Icon Inc. is the owner of the merchandising rights since 2021 when they took over for King's Feature Syndicate. There's a lot of oddness because she's been around so long. Her rights have been included in the merger when Republic Pictures split with Viacom, which resulted in Olive Films under Paramount licensing gaining the home video rights, but Trifecta getting the television rights. Again, this was as of 2021. But Paramount never, in fact, had the character, but according to the court ruling, Harvey Films received the rights in 1958 through 2021. So it was a big year for Betty in 2021. She made her first appearance on Dizzy Dishes, which is just a comedy drama from the 1930s. And if you go and you take a look, her first appearance was not as a human, but was as a dog. You see her with kind of the floppy ears and the big cheeks. It was just like a dog-like, just like Dizzy Dishes was. He was just like a dog-like person, and so was she. Obviously, she happened to have a changed, I think, like 8 or 9 episodes later, and she just became fully human. And then at some point, I think like 3 years after she was made, she finally was told to be drawn a little bit more conservatively because she just had a bunch of cleavage. It was a short dress. So I guess people got a little salty about that. Oh, so we do have some breaking news for the Feeshes. Link down below to mint a Feesh if you don't have one already. Brock McRedcat says, working on bringing the arena back online after Immutable X got funky. Revamp includes more real-time gameplay, making it more stable all around. Working through some bugs for the conversion and hoping to be testing soon. Wait, this screenshot is different. Where it says round in progress 353. I don't know if that means Brock had gone on and done 353 rounds or not. But you see some really cool things that's happening. Is this in the Veveverse? No. I was just kind of confused what was in the background over there. But either way, I'm just really excited for other stuff. And even though it doesn't say Feeshes, he goes on. Oh yeah, where he says, wait, the screenshot is different. Are we allowed to go and share some things in Veveverse? Because I don't see any Feesh there. I don't see any Feesh in the background. I do see some, maybe this is a completely different game. That might not be Feesh news at all. Although I do have one bit of actual Feesh news. We have Denim Coffee saying, try the latest in our artist collab series, Brock McRedcat, and the Feesh's Bean Water. So if you want, go get Bean Water. Just follow Brock McRedcat or the Feesh's over on there to get the link to the Bean Water. Anyway, guys, I'm still sick as heck, so that'll be it for me today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow. Pray I feel better. Meow.